We got to watch the new Karate Kid movie, which, yeah, man, it sure wasn't really a Karate Kid movie. Okay.
You want to talk about it?
My mom wants us to leave everything behind.
Sometimes it is the only way to move forward.
You come to America. New rules. New school. No fighting. You make any friends?
Yeah, I did. One.
What's his name?
Mia?
You study
So the big thing with this movie, and Jordan will agree with me on this, is this movie. So this movie's a mess. This movie felt like it was an entirely separate movie that.
It feels like it was two movies that were smushed together.
It feels like it was an entirely separate movie that they tossed Karate Kid onto it because, for whatever reason, I guess we'll start at the beginning. Jackie Chan is back as Mr. Han, and he owns a karate school, and he's got a nephew, and his mom moves him to New York. That's the connection to the Jaden Smith movie, and then the movie, obviously, it's a Karate Kid movie. So it's about a kid. The movie is predominantly about a kid. He's the main character. And the subversion of this one is, instead of there being a mentor figure that trains a Karate Kid, it is now a Karate Kid training an adult. So the Karate Kid, yeah, so the movie comes to a grinding halt in the middle, so the Karate Kid can just randomly train Joshua Jackson, leading to a conflict, to a fight where Joshua Jackson... He's in a boxing match and he's learned all the lessons of doing karate. And that's what this movie feels like it was initially. It feels like it's...
No, Justin. He learns all the things of learning Kung Fu.
Yeah.
At that point, he doesn't know karate.
True. Yeah, sorry. Joshua Jackson is learning Kung Fu. So then Joshua Jackson, he gets beat up in a dirty fight. And that's when, for whatever reason, it becomes a Karate Kid movie again. And Jackie Chan jumps right back into the narrative. And Ralph Macchio is there.
Not even that the kid like phones up Jackie Chan is like, I need your help to train for this tournament.
He just shows up.
No, he literally just shows up to save the day.
I guess okay. To put this more succinctly, number one, the most important bit is taper your expectations on Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio and being in this movie. If you're going into this expecting it to be a follow-up on Cobra Kai or involve Cobra Kai in any meaningful way or any of the characters beyond Ralph Macchio to show up, it's not going to happen. This is more... Ralph Macchio is in this more of a cameo, and he doesn't really do much. He kind of has a similar conflict to what he has with Johnny Lawrence, but like... In a fraction of the time and not done nearly as well. This feels like the original movie, because the movie again comes to a grinding halt, stops being a Karate Kid movie, so he can train Joshua Jackson how to do Kung Fu. And that's not a bad movie. That shit is good and it's fun. And the number one thing is the kid, is really good. He's really charismatic. I want him to go on and do more shit. Like, I want him to do more movies. I think he has a huge... I'm pretty sure this is his first movie, and he has a huge career coming ahead of him, because he is really good in this. That would have been a better movie than this, because the shit that's tossed in there from Karate Kid is so... Both the Jackie Chan... Honestly, I could even believe that this was a Jackie Chan movie, and he was a different character with a different name, and they, in a rewrote, changed it to Han.
So, my thing when I watched this movie, because I obviously didn't watch Cobra Kai, so I'm not that doesn't play into it for me. But I agree that this feels like two movies that were that were put together. This feels like the kid teaches the adult boxer how to fight movie, where maybe in an original version of it, that was his dad. Like
I always believe it's he's teaching not his dad, but he's teaching a girl's dad, because these movies need a lot of
whatever. whatever. The point
All
being
of the
is
shit with
that
Joshua Jackson
that
is unchanged.
shit is its own movie.
Yeah.
But I feel like they didn't feel confident enough that it would do well enough on its own, which is why they slapped the Karate Kid stuff on it. Let me finish. Because the Karate Kid stuff, to me, that feels like its own movie, which was watered down to fit into this.
Absolutely,
to
yeah.
me, there is another version of this movie where instead of the kid and his mother moving to New York, they move to California, where he becomes a student at Daniel Russo, Miyagi-Do, where he becomes a student there, and Jackie Chan comes along and is like offended that his protege is enjoying working at Miyagi-Do more, and that's where their rivalry comes in the original incarnation of this movie.
Yeah, because the thing is, you can remove both things out of this movie, and they still, so you can remove him training the dad out of this. The bully character beats him up, and he has to learn karate. Right, everything in the third act is contrived to set up the third act. So the dad gets beat up specifically, and it's funny because it ends with him joining a karate tournament. Spoiler alert, he wins the karate tournament. But the karate tournament itself is stupid. We were laughing at it because it doesn't make any sense. It's a street tournament. They were clearly bored with the idea of it just being a regular karate tournament. So for some reason, it's a street tournament that is also televised, that people watch.
Yeah,
there's a commentator. Like, it doesn't. They never say how much money you. No. You said they said 50 grand.
They did. They said 50 grand. And I did come to realize, how we were like, why do they fight in the different locations? I came to realize, I'm pretty sure why that is. Each of the different locations that they're fighting in is in one of the 5 boroughs.
Oh, probably, yeah. But there's no. Also, all of a sudden, there's weird graphics all over that don't match the aesthetic of the movie whatsoever. So that's what I'm saying. That shit. The movie was him training the dad, and that fight where the dad loses, that was the end of the movie. That was the climax. And they've added this third act, this new second half on there on a rewrite, and they've jammed Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio on there because they've
jammed Karate Kid into it, essentially. Basically.
No, because I fully believe that Jackie Chan was probably always involved in this. But yes, they've jammed. They've jammed Karate Kid. Yeah. But
that's why they jammed Karate Kid in.
But I don't just think Karate Kid generally. I think Ralph Macchio specifically has been jammed into this. Like, I think this could have been.
I think more just Karate Kid was jammed in, and then they were like, "Hey, you've been doing Cobra Kai for all this time. Do you mind just popping in for this one?" Like, I don't think they made the changes specifically to shove him in. I think he just got shoved in because of the changes.
No, but what I'm saying is I think that this probably was at some juncture just involved Jackie Chan, and the loose reference to this being a Karate Kid thing was the jacket on, jacket off, and that was it. And then on a subsequent rewrite, a final rewrite, that's when the Ralph Macchio, he was the last thing jammed into this, because he has been jammed into this. He's not in this organically whatsoever. Jackie Chan, out of nowhere, leaves the movie to be like, oh yeah, I know that Ralph Macchio has existed this whole time, and I know who you were, and I know exactly where you live, and just shows up at his house and is like, and recruits him like Nick Fury style. We need to recruit you to the Karate Kid Vengers. That feels like a rewrite to force him into it. Like, again, I mean, everything feels like a rewrite. Jackie Chan coming back in the second half feels like a rewrite.
Like, my whole thing is that even the beginning parts where he's learning at the Han's school
feel like rewrites.
It feels like a rewrite. It feels like in the original version it was just a generic school.
Oh, for sure.
It wasn't specifically a Han school. It was a generic school, so that when he comes, like if we want to believe that Jackie Chan was always intended to be in this, that when Jackie Chan shows up in the third act in the original version of it, before it was transformed into a Karate Kid, he shows up and he's like, you want to learn like karate or kung fu or whatever? I know it. Why didn't you ask me? I could have taught you years ago.
I suspect
in the original thing, that would have been the thing.
I suspect that uncle character didn't either was added later on or it was different. Like, but no, that the movie was, I guarantee, because his character arc is from two complete. So his character arc involving not helping the dad and not being able to help the brother has nothing to do with the third act. Nothing to do with the third act. Like, that feels like that feels like from that initial. Again, this movie started out as the kid training the dad. Like I guarantee you, the girl was always there, the dad was always there, and it was always the kid training the dad. And then someone went, man, this sure looks like it's Karate Kid. Oh hey, Cobra Kai is popular right now. Like, everything this movie doesn't do anything interesting with the Karate Kid. With the Karate Kid franchise, like, it doesn't tell anything new. Like, Daniel doesn't get a character arc. He's just there to be in 3 scenes to show him how to do karate, which, like, again, cinematically kind of just looks the same. When he eventually does the tournament, like, it just all looks the same. It doesn't look any different to me, a Westerner, and maybe that's on me. But yeah, this movie was. Him and the girl are the best parts, and if you took all the Karate Kid shit out of this,
him, the girl, and the dad,
Joshua Jackson is quite good in this.
Yeah.
If it were the movie, if you took all the Karate Kid shit out of it, this is a good movie, or at least it's a better movie. But because all that Karate Kid shit has been just jammed in there. And I'm not even saying you need to kick out Jackie Chan.
Especially because then, like, yeah, you have the mom who is like, I refuse to let you fight, like, I won't let you fight, and she's just an unpleasant character.
She's just there to be an obstacle.
Which you could have had her be the same obstacle of, and this is my point, of you could take out any and all of the kung fu stuff, and you could have had her be an obstacle just in the way where she's like classic stereotype. Oh, I don't want you to be around that girl. I want you to focus on your studies. She's bad for you.
Well, I mean, like, I'm guessing
you could have easily in another version of this movie where there's not the kung fu stuff, it would have worked with that regard too. Is my point.
Her being like, I don't want you to fight, it's incoherent. Because he's so skilled, it doesn't make any sense, right? She's like, I don't want you to fight, but you can fight very well, in fact. So again, that feels like a rewrite.
Well, she doesn't want him to fight because her son got stabbed.
Yeah, but her son got stabbed. Like, him getting stabbed has nothing to do with fighting, and just has to do with the nature of fighting in competitions. Like, so what I'm saying is her objection to him fighting is clearly been added in a rewrite, and the initial objection was him participating in a fight competition, right? Then you see that makes sense because he's helping the dad fight. So I'm guessing the dad being in fights, there was probably more than one fight, and she didn't want him involved in helping him because the brother got stabbed in competition. Then that makes sense. Then her involvement makes sense. Her being him against fighting is, again, incoherent. It doesn't make any sense in this version of the script because you could tell it was clearly changed.
I mean, I don't disagree. My point, I right from the beginning said I think this movie is an incoherent mess. So you're not going to hear any arguments from me. That being said, we didn't walk away from it being unhappy.
No, it's a fun movie. It's just a bad Karate Kid movie.
It's just, yeah, exactly.
But like, I don't think it's a bad Karate Kid movie. It would be a better Karate Kid movie if it didn't have the shit from Karate Kid in it. Like, if you wanted to be like, it's a subversion, the subversion doesn't work because Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio show up and it just becomes Karate Kid. Like, this would be more interesting, yes, if it was a subversion, if it was a, and if it was from a point of the Joshua Jackson character wasn't a boxer and he was getting hassled.
I was gonna say, I think it would have worked better for me if we had like the first half of the movie is the kid training the dad, right? And the dad goes and does the boxing thing and like maybe loses and puts himself further in debt. But like there's one final boxing
No, because that's what the movie we already have.
Let me finish. One final like a boxing match or fighting match or whatever. But instead of it being the kid who does it, it's still the dad. And the kid has to call in Jackie Chan and then Jackie Chan and if you want to bring in the Russo then okay, but I would have left him out. But like he phones in Jackie Chan, and Jackie Chan and the kid have to train the dad. And
Yes,
that's the point of it.
Yes. Yeah, that subverts the idea of the Karate Kid. Now, I mean, I guarantee you again. Well, I'm split on it because the way this reads, it reads that Jackie Chan wasn't in this and he got added, and that's when it became a Karate Kid thing. But it's believable that he was involved in this and he was just a minor character. And then they decided, they went, oh, this looks like Karate Kid. They turned, this reeks of a script that got doctored into a Karate Kid movie.
It does. I agree.
But yeah, it's hard. It's one of those movies that makes me go like, just functionally and objectively, it's a bad movie. I was having a better time when it wasn't a Karate Kid movie, is what I will say. Like
I mean
that's when I was having the most fun.
The kid and the girl together, they're cute together.
And
like,
the dad,
they're really
and the dad,
fun. And the dad, the dynamic between the three of them, that's fun.
When the dad and the girl left, and Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio came in, and they were doing shit that this is now a completely different movie and it's not working. Yeah. And they haven't spent any time. He just kind of shows. Yeah. Then it becomes a bad movie. And the karate tournament is incoherent. It doesn't make any sense. And it just, that's when it becomes a bad movie.
It really just comes across like it's two movies that got smushed into one.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's two movies that smashed into one. I think it was one movie. I mean, I don't think the karate shit was its own movie. I think that it was inserted. It was just inserted into this.
Would you prefer? It's a movie which could be two.
Should be two movies.
Could be. Is able to be two separate movies and would be stronger if it was.
It feels like in order to head off the past that this is just like Karate Kid, they forced it into being a Karate Kid movie, and it's worse off for it. The worst part about this new Karate Kid movie is the Karate Kid stuff. I think that's the title of the YouTube video.
I mean, or
that's the log line.
Is this really Karate Kid? Would be mine.
I mean, it is once Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio show up. And also, spoiler. No, like I said, no characters from Cobra Kai show up in this, other than William Zabka shows up for what the internet called a post-credit scene, but is before the credits, which was funny. Him deciding a pizza name for Miyagi-Do. It's a funny gag. I saw people being like, why did he need to be in this? I saw what did he need to be in this to resolve? I think maybe they were talking about Daniel LaRusso, but it's a fun William Zabka cameo. It's very funny. I'm curious though. He mentions their new business venture, so I'm wondering how that if it does tie into the end of Cobra Kai. I will find out. But yeah, Cobra Kai did everything this movie wants to do, but more interesting and better, and more well made. And the fighting was better.
I don't really have much else to say about this one.
No.
That's where, it's funny that you say, like, in terms of the characters, which of the Karate Kids is the best version. And, like, I like the character, and this is where
He never whines or complains about anything. Doesn't cry.
Well, that's where I was going to say. I both do and don't agree with your sentiment. I agree that this version, like this character, is better, but not the Karate Kid parts.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you took out the Karate Kid parts of this, it would be a much better movie. It's a bad Karate Kid movie.
But that's where I'm saying though. Earlier, you were like, when I was talking about the Jaden Smith one, you said that you think that he's the worst Karate Kid.
I mean, I do.
I don't agree, because the Karate Kid parts work in his movie. They don't in this movie.
But what I'm saying is, like, if you remove this Karate Kid from the Karate Kids, then there's only technically two Karate Kids, Daniel LaRusso and him, and he's just worse than Daniel LaRusso.
Sure, but
by nature of the fact that he's like 12.
Whether like the thing is that you this is a Karate Kid movie, so I have to look at him as a Karate Kid. And because the Karate Kid parts of this movie are the worst parts of this movie, it makes him not a good Karate Kid. Ergo, I argue that I think and I'm mostly playing devil's advocate. I think that the Jaden Smith, because the whole is stronger.
But also, technically speaking, he does learn karate from scratch in this movie. He just does it really fast in a week. So, like, he's technically a Karate Kid. It is about him learning karate. So, by that metric, he is the second best Karate Kid.
I mean, if we really want to be pedantic about it, Jaden Smith can't be in the running because he learns Kung Fu.
Oh, he doesn't learn karate, so he's automatically the worst Karate Kid because he doesn't even learn karate.
He's not even the worst Karate Kid. He's disqualified from the competition because he doesn't learn karate.
No. He's allowed to participate. He just showed up and he didn't do karate.
He's not allowed because he didn't learn karate.
I mean, you can show up to a karate tournament not knowing karate. You're just gonna get your ass kicked.
All right, I suppose. Well, but can you do Kung Fu in a karate tournament? Is that allowed in the rules?
I honestly have no idea. Somebody who knows karate, tell me in the comments.
Somebody who's been in a karate tournament, tell us if you're allowed to use Kung Fu.
If you've done a big karate tournament, tell us, could you use Kung Fu in a karate tournament?
Because that will ultimately decide the question. Because otherwise, you're right. If he is allowed to, then at that point you're right. He is the student who handed in a test with no answers. He technically handed in a test. He showed up. He just gets no marks.
Exactly. Also, apparently, in order to get to Okinawa, it's a 15-hour flight.
All right, that's a long flight. I do not want to do that anytime soon.
That's the new Karate Kid movie. Stream it. Don't waste your money at the theater.
Yeah, no, I'd watch it on streaming.
Watch it on streaming. It's a fun stream movie. It's not to say it's not a fun movie. It's just we're being critical because that's what we do. That's what we do for a living.
We don't do it for a living. I wish we did it for a living.
Everybody, it's Endcard Justin here. Let me know down in the comments. Have you seen the new Karate Kid Legends movie? What did you think? Let me know down in the comments what you thought of that movie if you saw it. But in the meantime, if you want to see the full podcast that this review was from, you click the box on the left. That's going to take you to our martial arts kung fu episode. Or you click the box on the right, and that's going to take you to a random video that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy. But you can hit that subscribe button, and if you want to hang around, leave us a like if you could. That helps the video out a ton. And we will see you all in the next video, everybody.